Hello everyone, my name's Construct and we play Ghost format Yu-Gi-Oh! Welcome to Meta Monday. In this series I just want to see the good stuff. Meta decks, rogue decks, just good decks, take them to the Dueling Book Ladder and try to pull some wins. I think I said it all, let's get to the deck. So welcome everyone to our first video on Meta Monday. By meta I instantly would think like, okay, we have warriors, we have chaos turbo, maybe earth aggro or something like that. But by meta I mean any kind of good deck, like also like rogue decks. Like, I mean, earth aggro it is meta, but not meta like turbo or warrior. But I also want to include decks on this series like my Zombie Chaos deck, for example. I know it's I posted it on Fun Deck Frequency, but I actually think it's a good deck. I would take this to a tournament, and if I would take a deck to a tournament, not just for fun, I would think it will fit here. But today's deck is one of the meta decks, so it's classic warrior. It is actually the list of return winner. He went second on the Dortmund GGP with it, performed very well. And actually I never played warrior in my life. I didn't even try. I know the theory, I know what you have to do, kind of, but this is a kind of premiere. I never played warrior, so I really wanted to start this series by playing a warrior deck. I saw the video of Return Winner the other day, and I really got inspired, and I was like, I really enjoy playing not so fun decks recently, and I really wanted to make a new series with more competitive decks to show you guys on the channel. So please let me know in the comments what you think about it. I'm really looking forward sometimes to play not really bad decks and try to get the best out of it, but really focus maybe on playing good, have some good matches. No replays on this series because I don't really have to find good duels. It's not always that hard on Fun Deck Frequency, but it makes it way easier for me if I have some testing, and if there was a cool combo or a cool deck, I can just use it as a replay. We won't do it here, I think. Maybe if we have a really crazy match and I really want to have it on the channel, but usually I want to take a deck, maybe not just once for one video, maybe a few weeks after we again play warrior or something. I don't think it's so bad if we repeat a deck. We also do it on Turbo Tuesday, so you won't see Turbo here, I think, because I really like that replay style of Turbo Tuesday. So I think that will stay as it is. But enough talking, let's get through the deck. This is, like I said, exactly the list of return winner. I just changed the order in the side deck since I can play better if I have a specific order of what I wanted to side, how I wanted to side it. So we start off with a BLS, that is pretty standard, and 3 Blade Knights. He said like the main core of a warrior deck is 3 Blade Knights and 2 Kaikus. Let's change this here. I really like those 2 offs on one area. Well, that's better for me. So the main core is like 3 Blade Knights, 2 Kaikus. Then you have 1 Dawn, 1 Warrior Lady, 1 Breaker, 1 BLS, of course. In Warrior we have an Exiled Force, level 2, Sasuke, and a Tribe. And then you have 1 flag spot you can use. He decided to use DD Assailant since he expected some more rogue-like decks on the GGP, and we are at a rating of like 600 or so. So I think we can expect kind of the same kind of decks. So I wanted to keep it in. I was thinking about maybe change it to something else, but since I don't have any experience with warrior, I really didn't want to change anything about the deck. So this is the monster lineup, pretty standard. And for the spells, we have a Book of Moon, just a very good main deck card. I really like it also in other decks. It's very flexible, you can do kind of everything with it, and easy to side out against decks where you have specific cards in your side deck. We have Duo and Graceful, so the Trinity with Pot of Greed. We have Storm and MST, we have 2 Nox, very important against Turbo. We have the Prima, we have of course 2 Rhodas, which make Warrior as good as Warrior are, because you have that toolboxy kind of deck. We have a Snatch, and to close up the spells, we have 1 flex spot here. This is Smashing Ground. Return Winner said like he would maybe change it for something else, but I thought let's just keep it as it is. I like the card, it's a 1-for-1, pretty cool. So that's it for the spells. We have a lot of traps in Warriors. We have Call to bring the guys back. We have 2 Dust Tornadoes to remove annoying spell and traps. Kind of same like in Earth Aggro. We have a Mirror Force. We have a Ring. We have 2 Sakuretsu Armors. I think mostly to kind of protect our guys, or to protect a pretty weak Donzo Luke if you want to have a plus or maybe a level 2. So these are important here. Usually you play 2, I think. I think some lists maybe play even 3. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not the expert. One of the most important cards in Warrior is Solemn Judgment. This deck wouldn't be as good without this card, because it just says no. It prevents the opponent from playing sometimes. If you have like 2 Solemns, 1 Saku, 1 Dust, whatever, 1 Blade Knight, that's what you want to see. You want to see 1 monster and maybe 4 or 5 back rows. We also play a Torrential and 2 Trap Dust Shoots. You can also play 3 instead of maybe the Smashing Ground. I like the ratio of 2, so I am very confident with this build. That's the main deck. For the side we have 1 Zambira the Dark, since we always wanna have 1 searchable Dark for BLS. In this case, this is Donzo Luke. And if you play against aggro decks, this guy is just too small. So we just changed the Zambira for the Donzo Luke. We have a Cypher Soldier. It's just so good against the mirror match. And Return Winner said like the rise of Warrior the last year or months, Warrior became better and better. And that's also because of 3 Gravekeeper Spies in the side, because against if you play against like aggro decks, or no, if you play against like Turbo or Control, they pretty much side into like more aggressive decks like Zambira's get in, or Sakuretsu. Like it's way more like big beaters come in more and more, and that's why Gravekeeper Spy is even so good in Warriors. It also, like my theory with, if you have like flip monsters and normal monsters, like you want to play face up in your deck, it's always pretty hard for the opponent to side and to decide rather to leave in the knock or side it out. So that makes this card pretty good, I think. We have a Widespread Rune. When I first saw the list on Return Winner's video, I was like, man, you just have 2 Sakus and a Widespread Rune. Why don't you have just 3 Sakus? But I really like that mind game in his head. Like he just sides in a Widespread Rune instead of a Sakuretsu armor. So your opponent has to think like, okay, he plays 3 Sakus and 1 Widespread, maybe even 2 Widespread. I really like that mind game, so congrats here. We play as Xingza and Hu. It is, I think, pretty normal by now in Warriors. It's a +1 if it gets off, very cool, so good against any back row heavy decks. We have we have 1 Jaugen against like Reasoning Gate or any OTK decks. I think we have a Wangu, very good card against like Control or Reasoning Gate also. We have 1 little sneaky Moth. We can side in like game 2 if Nox usually gets sided out. It is a very good card. Really like that theory in the main deck sometimes, but I know in Warriors it's very strict what you play, how you play it, and the ratios is very important to make the deck playable and as good as it is in the meta. Another card which we also saw in the final at the GGP Dortmund, you can check out the live stream on Goat Format YouTube. is Morphing Jar. I just say, I love the card since like day one. I always play it in my side against in Earth also, or in my like kind of every deck, you know me by now. And this card is just the perfect card if you like an aggressive deck and low on resources, play against Turbo. They just kept their good cards, you flip an MJ and you are just back. And both players, it's like a reset button, and Morphing Jar is just crazy. Even if they especially if they side it out like the Nox and everything, this card mostly gets through and brings you back to the game. So welcome to the deck, Morphing Jar. We have a Mobius also against like Burn, or maybe, I think maybe even against the Warrior Mirror. I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but it can be very good against like, especially against Floodgates, and also against like Warriors with traps. I think that's pretty good, especially game 2 when the opponent sides in like Sakuretsus and everything. This can be very good. We have an Amazon's Archer, always good in like warrior decks because it's searchable. If you know my Earth aggro videos, you know I really like that card. We have one Mystic Walk against like Burn, and a third Dust Tornado also against Burn or any back row heavy decks. So folks, this is it for the warrior list. I really can't wait to try it. Like I said, my first time, so please don't judge me too hard. But if you see misplays, of course, please let me know what I did wrong with the time. I'm always happy to learn as long as I see what you mean. So like I said, this is it for the deck. Let's hop into some matches. So game 1 of match 1 against. Have fun. It still feels so weird to play on the actual construct account since like Earth aggro is over. Rest in peace. And I kind of like be shocked like, oh no, I mess up our rating for the Earth aggro because I can't play here, but it's over now anyways, so don't have to think about that anymore. Let's see, we have an okayish hand. We could even think about set the Donza Luke, but I think that's wrong. Weird spot, to be honest. I think we search for Blade Knight or even Assailant. I'm not sure what's right now, because if Blade Knight is not pumped and we don't have any protection, but we need a light. Let's search for Blade Knight. Summon Blade Knight. Set the gang. Pass the turn. Usually you want one more back row at least to get Blade Knight pumped. Oh, okay. That's fine. So we have some spice here, maybe? Should we solemn this? I think we do. I think we do. Spell Absorption. I loved that card back in the days. I really did. So they have a Lightning Vortex. Hopefully they don't have a Premature, but we have Dust Tornado for this. Also against like Call, Kaiku. Alright. Well, we got a Snatch, so that's not the end of the world. Steam seems to be pretty low on the opponent. I think they gained 500. Alright. Okay, that's all. Breaker. I think we're at 2200. If they have a Dimension Fusion. Yeah, let's summon Dawn and get rid of their last card. I don't really care about the spell absorption, to be honest. So let's attack with the Dawn first. To see what's in the hand. The agent of force Mars, so we are pretty spicy here. Unaffected by spell cards or effects. Sanctuary in the sky. Okay. I really want to banish them because if they have Dimension Fusion, so be it. But I think it's better to have them banished than engrave. Especially because they're light and dark. I don't even know if they play Dimension Fusion. They have reasoning, but I think this is a, I don't know, very Sanctuary in the Sky, get your life points high and have a big beater on field. So it should be fine here. I think Solemn, the reasoning was good. Although it's not normal reasoning, but we didn't know that at that point, so I think it should be fine. I wonder what they have in hand. Since they are thinking pretty long. We have Dust Tornado against like any kind of back row. I really wonder what that is. If you have to think about so long. Maybe they have a card they can use pretty aggressive or not aggressive. I know that when I have like maybe an Earth and Gaff and have to decide should I attack or not. We're at a rating of 523 here, so let's see what we can do maybe. Okay, it's a true nade. The Dust Tornado won't do anything here. So Dawn is gone. Not really the biggest problem here, to be honest. Looks pretty good, to be honest. Like, okay, Mirror Force is perfect here. I don't think if we want to snatch the Kaiku back. Let's play Breaker. Get over the Kaiku. And I think I wouldn't even use the effect on the spell. Let's set Dust Tornado and Mirror Force. Even if they have Snatch, we have the Dust Tornado. We could chain Dust Tornado. They know about this Snatch. But I don't think we really need it here, that's fine. We have one useless card like the level 2. Well, Dust Shoot is way more useless here, but it's fine. Okay. Monster, please. Prima. We don't really have a target I want to get. I wouldn't do anything here. I want Breaker to be pumped, to be honest, so let's attack. Set Solemn and set Premature. I want to keep the Dust Shoot in hand because of maybe a tribe. I think I want to Solemn this. I know this makes... Oh, Prima is still alive. It's very smart that they hard summoned, or they wanted to hard summon the scapegoats, in my opinion. Yeah, let's just attack. Yeah, Trap Dust Shoot could be a discard fodder. Or tribe, or maybe to like bait a duo. Not that I really want to do that, but unfortunately, Blade Knight is banished by Kaiku. We still have no lethal line here. We just keep attacking. We can feel pretty safe with the back row. Of course, if they have like heavy and a snatch or so, this is game, but... Thunder Dragon. Okay, they have a dark, but we have... We don't really have an answer against BLS. Okay. Rhoda, perfect. So this is chaos-like, fairy, whatever. Let's get a say. No, don't give them information. Let's get Blade Knight. This is game. GG. So we don't want the knock, we don't want the level 2, we don't want the dust shoots, I think. They have main deck Kaikus, they are more on a beater route. I like the Zambira against, like over the Dawn. I like these. Let's get into Spies. You could think about the Moth. I think the rest is cool. Do we need Sasuke? Not really, right? Let's get into Moth for the Sasuke. I think that's fine. We need Mobius. Don't want to side it in. Let's see if we have a game 3. Maybe we want to bring it in. So that's a okayish hand. Pot for the opponent. Didn't play Zing so much in my life, so I'm kind of curious how it will perform here. It's always good to see a Solemn with all this all this back row. Sacred Crane, so maybe they smoke screened into normal reasoning, or they just play it because it synergizes pretty good with the deck. Alright. We will duo first. Alright. Let's take this one. MST is gone, okay. And Storm. This hand must be juicy. Alright, let's Grace here. That's a warrior hand you want to see. So I don't think we need 2 Sakuretsu armors. Do we need the Zing is the question. We have an MST. We have a Solemn. I want to keep the Snatch, I think. I think I like the Zing even more than the MST. Let's get rid of 1 Saku. We need the MST to be aggressive with the sword, so let's get rid of Zing. Do we want to snatch the Sacred Crane? I think at that point, yes. Let's summon the warrior lady. I think that's maybe way too aggressive, but I want to try. Maybe that's scapegoats. So they're at 4,900. Maybe I took some bad decisions here with the Grace, but sometimes it's not so easy. So we wanna solemn this. That's what it's here for. You can't chain Royal Decree to solemn. That is not possible. But good to know. You could chain, what is it? Royal Tribute, I think. Spy is pretty cool. But I really don't want to play it in attack position. That would be a big waste. So let's get in with both and set the spy. This would be game. Jinso is not the best here, but we have the D-Warrior Lady. We know they just have the Decree. That's difficult. They shouldn't really attack into the Crane since they get life points from it. But, okay, that's fine. Okay. So there's a Jinso with a Royal Decree set. The cool thing is we have Mirror Force and Saku. So we can really be aggressive here with the spies. Because we can chain like the Mirror Force in the same situation to the Saku. So I want to flip spy. Attack into the Jinso. Directly with both spies. Set the Mirror Force, and I think this should be fine. As long as they chain the Decree to the Mirror Force or the Saku, but yep, that's a win. I'm not sure if I misplayed here or there. Maybe I shouldn't have snatched the Crane, but it was a weird deck. It was pretty... It's always hard to play against a deck like this, kind of. And I still have to get used to, like, this solemn style of play, because I'm not really used to it. But we won. Like I said, if you would have made something different, let me know. I really like the aggressive play with the spies and this back row cards. Yep, that is it for match number 1. Let's get right into match number 2. So see you next duel. Totally forgot to roll the dice last match, but we won RPS. So maybe our dice is cursed. Alrighty, Paper Gang. Unfortunately, we didn't win. Ranku 89. Have fun. That's a warrior hand you want to see. If we now have a solemn, this would be perfect. I'm really curious to play against Turbo one day, because like this deck is like kind of made also against Turbo, I think. Dust shoot. That is not the best. But what can we do? We should definitely duo here. Snatch is gone. Blade Knight is gone. So do we have a mirror? Well, mirror with a Sangan. You know about our hand, so I think we just set Dust Tornado and Ring. The obvious cards, but in this situation I don't want to play around with stuff. We could have set like the Call and the Prima to like bait out a Dust Tornado or so. But to get the Dust Tornado destroyed was Totally fine. Way better than the ring. So that's why I set the Dust Tornado first. Most people choose the first card. From my experience. So we definitely exiled Force to set one. Because then we can have a use of Prima and Call, at least for the exiled Force. Spy, very good. So they know about our cards. That's why I set them all. That's such a weird spot with the Sangan. We will ring this on summon. For sure. I think we even call back the exiled force, to be honest. Let's wait one more turn. That dust shoot was hard. Let's use Prima for exiled force. Because maybe they search something they want to set. Then we have the knock life. Let's see what they get. So it looks like Warrior, maybe Thunderclap with the Spy. Definitely not normal Warrior, maybe Chaos Warrior. Well, Blade Knight mostly means some kind of warrior build. DD Warrior Lady, okay. Let's set the knock. Pass the turn. We just have to survive this turn to have a chance. Yep. We have to eat this. Breaker. That is like kind of the best top deck here. Getting a plus from Breaker, okay. That's fine. And definitely the right decision from the opponent. They already have Light Dark, so I think we get back Exiled Force, all we can do. And destroy the Warrior Lady. And hope they don't have another monster. BLS? No. This could be Call. Hate to see it, that Dust Shoot. Okay. Any kind of monster, please. They already used Pot? No. If they're drawn to Pot, this would make Dust Shoot live. Let's see. Okay, set monster. Knock is live. Blade Knight. Very good. So we have the Solemn. We could win this. Let's use Knock. The Koichi. This could be also some kind of return deck, maybe? Can't really read what they play. Okay. Okay, I don't know. 3 Dekoichis. Mirror Force. I think we have to Solemn this. Because this Blade Knight is a 2-turn clock. And our only board presence. Let's see. Pretty close one. So Mirror Force. Ring. That is a draw. Okay. So they play a lot of flips. They also play warriors. Hate siding against a deck like this. They play warriors, so I think I want to keep the Dawn. Now let's get in Sambaira. They also play spies. I like the Cypher. I like the Kaikus. I think we can get rid of the level 2 since it's super small. I don't like Dust Shoot, I think. And Spy is pretty good here. But maybe just 2. Let's get rid of the book. We could try the Zing over a Dust Tornado. Kind of like Mobius. But I think the rest is fine. I don't want to side too much. Let's do it like that. We need the dice again. Rock it is. Good hand. Good hand. Should we Rhoda first? I don't think so. So let's pot. Alrighty, I think we can comfortably summon the Grandmaster Sasuke. And I think set all the back row since we have the Solemn. Has the turn. We could have think about just set the ring. Like I said, I'm new with that Solemn set everything down thing. I know it's unfortunate if the opponent has Storm and you want your Solemn to say no to a Mirror Force or so and can play aggressive. But I really have to learn this. If you have any tips, let me know in the comments. So we all can become better players. I really want to make a new layout for this series. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Like with some staple meta monsters like Donzaluk, I think would be cool here. And some other stuff, let's see. But for now, it's the different dimension layout I really like. Yeah, I played right into duo with setting all, but I think it's fine. We have a Prima. No, don't we have a Prima? No, we have a Snatch. We have a Rhoda. Okay. Grace. I think we get... We don't have level 2. We could get Exiled Force. And then Prima, then Graceful. Or we Graceful first. And then decide what to get. Let's do this. Solemn, okay. That's fine for me. So let's Rhoda. We could also get, let's get some Byra. We have a Dark. If this is Spy, we really don't care. And we have the Solemn for the set card. In the ring, I think. Exiled Force is the safer play. Let's get Exiled Force. It's a Sangan. Well, that's fine. That's the risk you always take by Exiled Force a set monster. But with the ring, it gets pretty close. The Warrior Lady, that's fine. Ah, it's... Where's my head? It's already, game. But we should really, ring the Warrior Lady, I think. Shining Angel. We should really ring the Shining Angel, I think. It's always good to ring before you activate any Solemn Judgment. Okay. They get BLS. We have to Snatch. They get Sorg. That's fine. We have to Snatch and a Solemn, so this should be fine. Yeah, that's game. That is game. So cool to know you have a Solemn, you don't care what they have. You just win. Maybe they have a Kuribo, but GG. So now, I think they didn't change so much. I don't know if you need the Cipher, to be honest. I think I'd rather have a Dawn over the Cipher. That's better. We could sneak in a Moth. Let's side out the Zing for a Dust Tornado. They didn't play so many spell and traps, and Zing is way, way better when you go first. We have a pretty high monster count, but the Spy is so good. I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it can be hard to side against decks like these. Like, they keep in flips, they have flips and aggressive monsters. You really have to know how your deck performs and if you need like knock or level 2. Wished myself a level 2 last game with the Rhoda. We could, but knock is just better. Knock is way better. Especially if they play like Sangan. So this was, they had Sorg, so this is kind of a warrior build. And I think we didn't see Thunder Dragons till now. There's the Donnie with the Call and a Kaiku, pretty cool. So we can play more aggressively. Please hit a monster. Okay. It's fine. Let's get rid of Dust Tornado. I think we hold Prio. Okay, they have 2 back rows. Do we want to use MST here? Yeah, I think so. Take the first one. Okay. Well, nothing we can do except summoning Kaiku and run right into that Spy. Isn't it always Spy? Okie dokie. So we get a Solemn and a Call, and we cannot get over these spies. Really hate to see it. Mobius. This will be Solemned immediately. Maybe they Solemn back. Okay. So one spy is gone. Solemn against Mobius is pretty good because they got rid of one of their monsters. Duo. Also nice here. I know we are pretty low already. The Koichi and BLS. These were pretty good targets. I mean, BLS is dead anyways with the Kaiku, but glad to see those go. We really have to find like a Sasuke, a Rhoda, Exiled Force maybe. Knock. Knock's fine against the set one. Sangan. Good to see that one go. Grace is fine. Well, if they find Zork, this would be a weird spot because they can't summon it. They have to find an out against Kaiku. Okay, so this could be like a Moth or, I don't know. Blade Knight. Not doing much here. We just get in with the Kaiku. The Koichi. That's fine. We should summon Blade Knight, I guess. Should we set it? No. Let's summon Blade Knight. That freaking spy. Always ask about summoning something if it's okay to avoid misunderstandings. I know the duel will take a little bit longer maybe, but Rhoda. Alright, alright, alright. So I bet they have a Solemn. They really have to defend this spy. Okay, I want to get Exiled Force. Since we don't... Well, we have the Call. So we can be more greedy. Could get Sasuke. Let's get Sasuke. It doesn't really make a difference. Imagine they Solemn the Sasuke. We bring it back with Call. If they have Mirror Force, so be it. Well, they thumped, but I don't want to shark around. Let's get Kaiku, definitely. Let's see if that goes through. They seem to have something. Perfect. We get rid of the light. And I think the Mobius, to be honest, at that point. Yeah. Could be worse, could be better. Another Kaiku. Spies are kind of gone. Torrential's gone, and I think they don't have Mirror Force. I want to be aggressive here. Let's attack with the Call Kaiku first. It's a Dekoichi. I think I never had 2 Kaikus on field since I have this channel. We get rid of the Spies. Did they flip return last game? And I just fueled their graveyard, their banish zone? I think so. I totally forgot about that. But my first reading was kind of right, I think. Blade Knight. So the Kaikus are game anyway, so we definitely don't summon the Blade Knight. I think they have like Mirror Force, maybe return from a different dimension. Well, we don't care at this point about the banish monsters, I think. They would be banished anyways at the end of the turn, so... Book. That's fine. I think we set the Blade Knight. Pass the turn. If they have return, I really want to defend myself. Because the Mobius gets over the Kaiku. Okay. Hopefully they attack over the Kaiku. Maybe the set Blade Knight was a big misplay. But I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That what was... yeah. I totally forgot the card. I totally forgot we saw it. Well, we saw it in the last moment, last game. So... but this definitely is game. Does it matter how they attack? I don't think so. Doesn't matter. I won't give them informations. So we go into game 3, like game 4. They have flips. I don't want to use knock here, definitely. So maybe we get the level 2. We get the dust shoots, maybe? Let's get in the dust shoots. I think Smashing Ground is too slow here. And the Assailant is not the right card here, to be honest. Zing, I don't like the Zing. Let's get in the book, because for like a final attack or so, this can be very good. Spy is pretty good. And I think... no, it's no time for Cypher Soldier. I think the rest is pretty fine. I like the Widespread Rune. Let's get in this. I don't like the Dust Shoot. That's bad. Let's get into Widespread Ruin and the Smashing Ground. I think that's fine. Alright. Love myself, no monsters. Let's just set the ring and the Saku. Pass the turn. I don't want to play so much into duo again. That's why I also set the Saku, to avoid an open field for the opponent. Maybe it would have been better to set kind of everything But I don't like that, I think, just to play into Storm. But maybe that's it what makes Warrior as good as it is. To just have so much back row set. But like I said, I think I prefer this style of playing. So now we have to Saku for the Shining Angel. I don't know why I forgot about the card. About the return. Like, Kaiku is a double-edged sword here, because you don't really want to banish the guys, but you want to avoid chaos, so it is difficult. So, Kaiku. Get in. Saku. Alright. So now we set all. And pass the turn. I like the position now. It's fine. We have to Solemn against Storm. MST's gone. Set monster. Okay. Breaker. Well, let's hope this is not a spy again. If they have Snatch or the Breaker, this would be bad. Let's just bring back Kaiku and keep the Breaker in hand. I don't like to play Breaker without a back row. It's a spy, sure. Alright, so same situation as last time. So Borg is actually fine here. Because this will get over the spy. We can snatch it. Perfect. Zambara is not doing so much here. I really want to do pressure. We can clear the spy with the Zambara and have pressure with the Zaborg. Still have the Solemn. Perfect. They have light dark. If they have a chaos monster, should we solemn it? I think we have to. Blade Knight's fine. Do we care about the Zambira? We don't really do. It's done its job. That's fine. Storm. Not really the card I want to use here. I think Breaker would be fine, actually. They have Torrential. We have the Solemn. Let's pop the first one. Return. Book. That's also fine. Because we have the Saku. So let's pass the turn. If they, like, even if they have Storm, we have the Solemn. Yeah, that's fine. Awesome. I'm so glad I didn't use the Saku last turn. Tribute for Saborg. Should we solemn this? At that point, if we solemn it, we keep the Zaborg. If we don't solemn it, we have the Sakuretsu. We were left with a breaker and a solemn. They have chaos. I think that's fine. I think it's better that way. I want to keep the solemn. I know breaker is not the biggest threat or pressure or anything, but let's set the dust tornado. Pass the turn. I don't know if I should set storm, but maybe they think it's BLS. Tribe. Yeah, I really want to keep the pressure. The Koichi. Alright, so next turn is its game. We have a Solemn and a Dust Tornado. And a Storm. We will Dust Tornado this. Another Solemn. Wished myself some Exiled Force. Well, nothing we can do. Then attack into the set. It's another Spy. Very unfortunate. No targets left. Thing is, if we use Tribe here, Breaker will be destroyed also. But if they have another Tribute monster, I don't really care about the Breaker. Yeah. We have two Solemns, so we just have to draw a monster and we would win. Mirror Force. Any monster, please. Well, not level 2, but I think we sided it out anyways, so. What a cool match. What a cool match. What a long match. This will be solemned immediately. Pot. That was a Heart of the Cards moment. Yes. Yes. That is game. That is game. GG's, Mr. Franco89. Wow. That was a long one. That's what she said. Yeah, playing against Chaos Return, Thunderclap, Mobius, Tribute Monster, whatever. As you saw, it is kind of hard to side against a deck like this, to make decisions against a deck like this. I mean, with Solemn, it's always kind of hard to make decisions. But I think it was okay. We won. Although it always was kind of close, but I'm satisfied. I thought Warrior is way more boring than I now realized it is. It's pretty cool, but it's new. It's mostly more fun if something is new, but it was pretty fun. I think we round up the video here since this was a 4-game match, and maybe we will make another video with this deck. Please let me know what decks you want to see in this format. Can be anything like doesn't have to be, like I said, doesn't have to be super meta turbo stuff. It can also be a rogue deck or anything, but just let me know. This is it for our first video of Meta Monday. Hope you enjoyed. I really had fun. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs up. Cornstruct signing out. I wish you all a great week. See you next video.